Ron Crimm.
Right, you got it.
Running for the 33rd state representative. He's the incumbent.
20 years. I thought it was important to be here tonight because I wanted to talk to you about a couple things. First of all, though, the guy over in that yellow shirt there, Ed Holloway, he had this seat before I did. John Ackerson had it after he, and I got it after John Ackerson. So we went right down the line. Some of you I remember from when I was chairman of the Republican Party for 3 years. I've had an opportunity to do a lot of good things. And Kevin Bratcher and I were talking Thursday evening. And he and I went into the house at the same time, Frankfurt. And we said, how many votes on the floor and in committee do you think we've made in 20 years? He said, it ranks up in the multi-thousands. Multi-thousands. And so, you try to do the best you can. Let me tell you about two bills. One bill the governor vetoed. It was a dangerous bill. It asked people to sign up for bone and marrow transplant so that if there's a match somewhere, they can go. And there was a provision in it that said that the employer could get a tax credit of up to 5 days for the employee to go to donate the blood. Now, I got the bill from a friend of mine in Pennsylvania. They've had the bill for 7 years, haven't had the first claim. The governor was concerned, and I understand. He doesn't want to be involved with anything that generates money, so I'll be interested to see if he vetoes anything. So I lost that bill. Then I had another bill, second time through. A man and woman get married. For whatever reason, they split. The man remarries. She becomes pregnant. Well, the first one, they had a child, first marriage. Anyway, the second wife becomes pregnant. She decides that she wants to have the ex-husband, his new wife, and a little girl killed. So she hires a hitman. The hitman happens to be an undercover agent for the FBI. She's arrested, and she's serving on your tax dollars right now in Shelby County. However, in June, she's eligible for parole. Our laws in Kentucky, we do not have a parental right law. What that means is, husband and wife, one of them go to jail, the children are assigned to the one that's not in jail. We don't have that in Kentucky. The judge has been letting the father keep the little girl while the mother's in prison. But because my bill didn't get passed, if she gets out in June, she gets the little girl. Now, what kind of sense does that make? She was never killed. And here she can get her back. So, and here's another little trick. The bill passed the House, got to the Senate, ran into trouble. They put it in what's called the Rules Committee. They gutted my bill. I'm sitting there about 11:30 Friday night, and I look up there, Crimm, House Bill 129, and the title. That's my word, they voted my bill out. I'm ready to celebrate. And then I hear the lady from Eastern Kentucky talking about the road plan. Well, when they gutted my bill, they put the road plan in it. So on the official records of Kentucky for this year, I'm credited with passing the road bill. I didn't care about passing the road bill. It was going to go by anyhow. Anyway, I'm glad to be here tonight. I hope that in 20 years, I've cast some votes that are right. I know I've cast some that probably some people don't like or didn't like. But you only have so much time. You have to look at it, You go to committees, people come in and they talk to you, and it's just one of those things. There's a lot of controversy about Senate Bill 275. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about that bill. 1 minute left or to go?
You're out of time.
Either way. Anyway, I am part of Albany County now. My senator out there is the one who sponsors the bill. I hate the bill. I think it's un-American. I told him, I said, put a chip in my arm. Or put numbers on my arm. But I think this is the wrong thing to do. The governor sent his lobbyists up to talk to him. The governor really wanted the bill. And I tried to support the governor. So that night when we went to vote for it, the vote came, I voted no. Then I looked and I saw probably 95% of the people in the Republican caucus voted for the bill. And I thought, well, I guess the thing to do is to support the governor. And so I voted for it. And some people don't like that. And I understand that, and I'll take the heat. But sometimes it's just that way. No matter how hard you try. Thanks for having me here tonight. I'm about to be gone. And does that mean you get a hook too? So thank you. Those of you who live in my district, anything east of Shelbyville Road on the north side, I'd appreciate your consideration next month. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, that's Ron Crimm. Okay, so you're going to have to speak up when you get up here. Okay, now the next one is Harold Bratcher. Harold is running for U.S. Representative in the 3rd Congressional District. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Let's give Harold a thank you.
Thanks, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight and allowing me and the other candidates to speak to you. It's been a dream of mine to run for a political office. My name's Harold Bratcher. I'm running for U.S. Congress, 3rd District. My wife, Michelle, and I have been married for 21 years. We've raised 3 children together. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I own a small business right here in Louisville, Kentucky. My political experience has been very minimal. I have none. And so I really think that, just because I have no political experience doesn't make me any less qualified. I think it makes me more qualified. Because I'm not bound to a party. I'm not bound to anybody. I'm bound to the people of this district. Our forefathers once said that our government is supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people. And that's what we need to get back to. And the way our current government is these days, it's for whoever's lining their pockets with the most money. That you look at the political campaigns today, they're spending millions and millions of dollars. Why do we need to spend millions of dollars to be voted into a public office? And that just don't sit well with me. About trade, most people know NAFTA. It's in the political presidential candidate these days. They're talking about our trade agreements. Where were they 20 years ago when we enacted NAFTA? They were right there right there voting for it. And now they want to say it's bad. It's been bad for this country for 20 years. It's cost this country 1 million jobs. It hasn't cost 1 million low-paying jobs. It's cost 1 million good jobs, great-paying jobs, jobs with benefits, retirements, union jobs. And, today we just let them jobs leave. Every day we hear Ford's going to Mexico, Carrier's going to Mexico. Everybody's leaving this country. And we need to stop that. And, in my congressional duties, I feel that we need to repeal NAFTA. That should be one of the first things that we do. And by doing that, we would allow the stop of companies leaving this country. We need to fix our tax structure. We need to give tax breaks to the middle class. The middle class is the backbone of this country. We are so overtaxed in the middle class that we can't afford gas these days. Can't afford to put food on the table. And if we were to repeal NAFTA and lower the tax codes in our system, we would have better jobs that would have to come back to this country. put more people back to work, put more money in your wallet. That way you're being able to go to the store and buy things other than having to buy gasoline. I know gas has come down a lot lately, and it's more at a reasonable number. But I know a lot of people in this room a few years ago were struggling when gas was $3 or $4 a gallon. And our congressmen and our senators alike let that happen. You know, oil is free. You know, they pump it out of the ground. It costs money to get it out of there. But at the end of the day, it's there, you know, and once we get it, why should it cost $100 a barrel yesterday, $30 a barrel today? So that's one of my big topics is trade and taxes. I'm a fiscally conservative Republican. I believe in balanced budgets. I believe that we all need to work together for the greater good for the community and our nation. And by doing so, we would come together as more of a common group. If we allow our politicians to keep dividing our government by party lines, all we're going to have is more turmoil in our parties and our government.